some pretty big news regarding Samsung, especially if you're a Samsung Galaxy S8 owner or if you're a Samsung Galaxy Note 8 owner. For the first time ever, which a lot of people are actually happy about, Samsung is going to allow you to actually disable the Samsung Bixby button on the side of the Note 8 and the Samsung Galaxy S8. And everyone knows how bad that button is, or how bad Bixby is. Now, if you don't know what Bixby is a sad attempt. Yes, I'm going to say it right now on video. I'm not ashamed. It is a sad attempt to actually make another assistant. Example, Google Assistant, Siri Assistant, Alexa Assistant, Cortana Assistant. So you can see we already have assistants out on the market, and I don't know why actual Samsung would want to make their own assistant. Actually, prior to this, a lot of people may not talk about this, but prior to this, actually Samsung does have an assistant. You can find it on older phones, believe it or not. It's not called Bixby, and you have to do some searching in your phone, but the older Samsung phones have had their own assistant. But the problem with that assistant as well is I don't know about Bixby because I don't have any experience with Samsung's Bixby voice assistant. But what I can say about their older one, it was complete garbage. It wasn't unusable, but it talked literally like a robot. Hello, how are you doing today? It was that bad, honestly. I did try, I didn't like it, and the problem is the responses were always inaccurate. I'm not throwing shade at Samsung. I'm not a Samsung hater. Obviously, if you don't know, I've been using Samsung phones for the longest time, so I'm not a hater. It's just the fact that, let's be honest, they cannot make an assistant. They're just not cut out to make an assistant. So why would they actually want to make another assistant on the newer phones and brand it Bixby? And they made a whole big deal about this on the S8 presentation. They were talking about how Bixby can do this, Bixby can do that. But we all know it's going to be inferior to the Google Assistant, to Siri, to Cortana, to Alexa, and things like that. It's definitely going to be inferior. So why would they want to actually go through with this? I have no reasoning why. They're just trying to copy people out there. They're just trying to think that they're cool when realistically they don't need to make an assistant. And it's really odd too, the fact that the Bixby button on Note 8 and S8 you can't actually remap. Yep, that is right. You can't actually remap that button. So for instance, if you want to access it for another application, or if you want to turn it into another assistant, for instance, you press that button and you go to the Google Assistant or you go to Alexa or etc. You can't do that on that button, which is kind of unfortunate. But it's kind of funny as well, as if you go back to the Samsung Galaxy S7 Active, they actually have an active button on the side which you can program to actually use your own app. So you can have it access a certain application on your phone, access a certain feature, etc. So that button is mappable on the S7 Active. I think that came out last year. So I don't know why Samsung would not allow you to remap this button or disable it. But thankfully they have listened to their customer feedback, and they know so many people are complaining about the Bixby button. So now it's going to be removable if you have the Samsung Galaxy S8. I'm not quite sure about the Note 8 at this current time because of course the Note 8 is way newer than the Samsung Galaxy S8. But S8 owners are officially getting it. You have to go into your Bixby settings into your phone and see if you can disable it. Unfortunately, not everybody who has an S8 can actually disable the Bixby button. Why? Because Samsung is rolling out updates to specific S8 owners. So I don't know how they're actually updating the S8s through the air. I don't know what carriers, what phones, if international, US, etc. I'm not sure about that, but they are going to allow you to disable the Bixby button. Why would you actually want to disable the button even if you don't use the Bixby button? Well, the reason you'd want to disable the Bixby button is because Bixby might accidentally come on even if it's in your pocket or if you're accidentally using it. And another downside to the Bixby button is the fact that they didn't actually put a ridge there, so it kind of feels the same as your volume buttons. You can kind of mix up your volume buttons for the Bixby button, so I don't see why they didn't at least make it a ridge if they wanted people to use it. At least make it feel differently as a button compared to your volume rockers. If they would have done that, then maybe, just maybe, people might care a little bit more. But honestly, the problem is here, we all know Bixby is a bad voice assistant. It will never compare to Google's Assistant, to Siri's Assistant, to Alexa, to Cortana, no matter what. It'll never compare, honestly. And I don't think even if it got future updates in the future, to be honest, I don't think Bixby would still be that good. It's never really going to compete, and there's no point because, let's face it, all Android phones come with Google Assistant right out the box. So why wouldn't you not want to use Google Assistant? Why would you use Bixby instead of Google Assistant? It's more fluid, it's much more faster, you get cards, it's just overall a better experience, and it comes right out of the box. So there you go, at least it is some good news for Samsung Galaxy S8 owners who can finally disable the Bixby button. Anyway guys, peace out. I'll see you guys later in my next video. I'm out, guys.